So, Mark Esper, who is a highly respected gentleman with a great career, West Point, Harvard, a tremendous talent, was just named Acting Secretary of Defense. I think he'll do very well. He was Secretary of the Army. I got to know him very well, and he's an outstanding guy. Pat Shanahan, who is a wonderful person, is, as you know, going to take some time off for family matters. And I want to thank him for his service. He's a terrific person, and it's a difficult time for Pat, but he's going to take a little time off for family service and for working things out. And I think you know about it. You know very well about it. But Mark Esper is going to be outstanding, and we look forward to working with him for a long period of time to come. Excuse me? No, I didn't. I didn't ask him to withdraw, but he walked in this morning. He said it's going to be a rough time for him because of obviously what happened. But I did not ask him to withdraw. He presented me with a letter this morning. That was his decision.
Did you know about these allegations before you said you wanted him to be?
I had heard about it yesterday for the first time. I didn't know about it. I had heard about it yesterday, and it's very unfortunate. Very unfortunate.
About the White House vetting process, if you had just heard about it yesterday?
No, we have a very good vetting process, and you take a look at our cabinet, and our secretary is very good, but we have a great vetting process. But this is something that came up a little bit over the last short period of time. And as you know, Pat was acting, and so acting gives you much greater flexibility, a lot easier to do things. So that's the way it is. Too bad. April?
Mr. President, will you apologize to the Central Park Five? They've been exonerated. There have been videos and movies shown about the case, and you came out with a full-page ad saying that they should die, that they should have the death penalty.
Why do you bring that question up now? It's an interesting time to bring it up. You have people on both sides of that. They admitted their guilt. If you look at Linda Fairstein and if you look at some of the prosecutors, they think that the city should never have settled that case. So we'll leave it at that.
Does not having a permanent defense secretary complicate your policy?
No, not at all. I think, frankly, this could happen very quickly for Mark Esper. He's very experienced. He's been around all of the things that we're talking about for a very long period of time.
Why should Americans trust your administration to tell the truth about what's going on with Iran? If we go to war, why should we believe you if you say why?
Well, we have Iran. We've been talking to various people on lots of different sides, and we'll see what happens with Iran. We're very well set. We're very well configured. We have a lot of things going on with Iran. I spoke with President Xi this morning of China. We'll be meeting at the G20, and I think that is working out pretty much as I anticipated it would. China very much wants to discuss the future, and so do we. So the relationship with President Xi is a very good one. We had a long talk this morning.
Immigration officials say they don't know anything about a planned roundup of millions of people next week.
Well, they know, and they're going to start next week. And when people come into our country and they come in illegally, they have to go out, and everybody's seeing that. And as you know, Mexico's been doing a very good job the last 4 days. They haven't done that in 25 years. They're doing a very good job. I appreciate the job they're doing. Guatemala, likewise, is much different than it was under past administrations. So we'll see how that works out. With all of that being said, the Democrats should get together and solve the asylum problem, which is very easy to solve, and they should solve the loophole problem, also very easy to solve.
You have an acting defense secretary. You've had one for months. Why is it taking you so long to nominate someone?
Well, this came up. This just came up, and I did the nomination. This just came up, and I think we did it very quickly. Pat Shanahan was acting, and we put Mark Esper in. Mark is highly experienced. I think he's going to fit in very easily.
President,
still want to demote Jay Powell. Are you interested in that at the Fed, at the Federal Reserve?
Well, let's see what he does. I can tell you that Draghi in the EU, if you look at what's going on with the euro, they have a much different stance than our folks do. As you know, he did something today that was very dramatic, and frankly, it helped that part of the world. So we'll see what happens. They're going to be making an announcement pretty soon, so we'll see what happens. But I want to be given a level playing field, and so far I haven't been.
What's your next step with Iran?
Yeah, I would be allowed to speak to him very easily. I speak to him anyway. Say it? Most likely, that's what I'm thinking about doing. Most likely, pretty soon. We're looking at Iran. We have a lot of things going with Iran. We're very prepared for Iran. We'll see what happens. But let me just say this. We are very prepared. Regardless of what goes, we are very, very prepared. If you look at what's taken place, if you look at what they've done, if you look at, and I'm not just talking about over the last week, I'm talking about over a long period of years. They've been a nation of terror. Now we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. They are a much different country today than they were 2.5 years ago when I came into office. When President Obama signed that horrible deal, they were screaming death to America. I haven't been hearing that lately.
Mr. President, on the 9/11 compensation fund, do you want to see it approved so that this never has to be revisited again?
I have a meeting on that actually this afternoon before my speech. I'm going down, as you know, to a very big crowd down in Florida, Orlando. And before that, I'm having a meeting. So we'll be letting you know. Well, I have a very good relationship with President Xi, and we'll see what happens. I think we have a chance. I know that China wants to make a deal. They don't like the tariffs. A lot of companies are leaving China in order to avoid the tariffs. I have a very good relationship with President Xi. We'll see what happens.
Mr. President Ocasio-Cortez.
Say it.
If that meeting goes well, are you willing to
We'll see what happens. I think the meeting might very well go well, and frankly, our people are starting to deal as of tomorrow. The teams are starting to deal, so we'll see. China would like to make the deal. We'd like to make the deal, but it has to be a good deal for everybody.
Mr. President, change the position on some of the sticking points that settled the last.
They did. They changed their position, so I said we're not going to do that.
On immigration, Mr. President, sir, immigration.
You're going to find out. You're going to find out. Thank you very much.